I mean, come on. This thing is mint.
My zip tie just slid down on my key switch.
Look at that.
Ow.
Well, hey there, hobby homesteaders. Welcome back to Peaks Peak. My name's Lucas. We're sharing our hobbies here on 38 acres in eastern Kentucky. And today, I'm headed to the wood yard because I've been asked to do a milling job. And I'm excited about it. Now, for those of you who haven't noticed yet, I have a log yard across the road from my house. And this log yard supplies, they buy logs and they store them for a local sawmill that is just across the river in Ohio. They're the best neighbors there ever was. We love having them there. I love watching the trucks go in and out. I love watching the guys run the loaders. And man, you know, I've been working with these small logs, and yesterday they called me and asked me if I wanted a few logs that they weren't going to send to the mill. They said they were oak, but they probably have a little metal in them, and I might have to, you know, locate that and figure that part out, which is something I wanted to do, and I want to do it on camera. So I said, absolutely, bring them over. Well, they have clued me in on just how small of logs I've been using, but those are the logs they brought me. The smallest of those logs is bigger than any log I've put on my mill yet. And the biggest, well, I don't think our mill will even handle it. I'm definitely going to get some good out of them. I will either use a chainsaw to make it small enough to where my mill will handle it, or I'm going to cut it into firewood rounds and test the split fire wood splitter on some really big wood. Either way, we're going to get a lot of good out of it. So we are less than a month away from the wedding, and I have been trying to keep myself from starting any major projects because I just finished the sawmill shed, and I'm wanting to do a patio, and I've got several things in mind that I want to work on, but I'm afraid to tear into anything too big and be distracted from getting ready and cause myself to overlook something or not get something done in time for the wedding. So I'm kind of feeling like I'm a little bit in limbo, and I'm looking for small projects and things that I can do to have fun and be productive, but also keep myself on track for meeting our deadlines for the wedding. When the guys brought the logs over from the log yard and gave them to me, one of the guys that worked there mentioned that his wife is wanting some shelves to put on the wall. He said, you know, I could go to Lowe's and buy some lumber, but that doesn't really mean anything. He said, so I was wondering if you'd be interested in just milling me a few boards that I can make shelves out of. And I'm excited because that's exactly the kind of thing that I want to be doing. Now, I don't have a planer and all of that to do anything to prep the wood for him, but I'm going to rough cut him some boards that he can make shelves out of, and hopefully he'll have the tools to make it into what he wants. But I'm excited to be able to do that. And I think I have some logs here that I'll be able to get what we need out of. I did not put any ballast on the back of the tractor because I honestly thought they were the logs that are in the front, but they're not. I forgot that I piled all these pine logs here. So I'm gonna have to move all these to get to the logs that I want to get to back in behind here. But we'll do that, and I'm gonna put one on the mill and get it milled down and figure out what we can make for him. This one will be the tricky one right here. Flip these over. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. I called over there and I talked to my buddy, and he said that this is a poplar log, which I was unsure about, and that this would be great for his shelf. I am excited for a reason to mill this log. Crack open a nice poplar that came off of our land here, came out of our woodyard preparation, so that kind of gives him a little bit of a story for the wood that he's going to be using. Anytime something like that, you can put a story behind it. You know, it's not that this is all that big of a deal, but you know, when he looks at that shelf, he can think, yeah, you know, my buddy across the road there milled that log for me. And I think that kind of stuff is cool. I would much rather have something like that with a little bit of a story behind it than to, you know, go to Lowe's or Home Depot and just pick up any old piece of wood. And I think it's about where I want to make my first cut. Let's fire this sucker up. Mill hadn't been started in at least 2 weeks. Can't beat it. Already took the tractor down. Forgot to clear this off. It's one of those things I try to keep up with, but it don't always happen, so I'll wait until I got the tractor up here to clear it off. Tell you what, that end right down there is gonna make some pretty wood for sure. All right, got the old Viking woodsman here. I think I hear Cameron coming. That's cool. You didn't tear up my four-wheeler, did you?
It's my fault.
You didn't tear up your four-wheeler, did you?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. This thing is mint.
My zip tie just slid down on my key switch.
Ignition relocation.
Yeah.
That's gonna make a pretty shelf. Have you run my big chainsaw?
Once.
All right, go ahead and shut that off. I want to do a little bit of planning here. Figure out what I want. That's a nice looking cant right there. I like it. I'm gonna get my tape measure. Figure out which way I can get the widest board. I was hoping to get him something like 9 or 10 inches, but I think it's probably only 7, or we got 7 3/4. That'll probably work though. 7 1/2 that way. Came out pretty square. Which way's got the prettiest grain? That end's pretty.
Yeah.
And that's pretty.
That here's a good stretch.
Yeah. that ends pretty. So I'm thinking we do this side, which would be the same as what I had it on to begin with, but
you pulled it off of that, and I was like, thinking it could fall, but
I've been trying to get in the habit of whenever a log is still round, not stepping into the center.
yeah.
I do it because our logs are smaller, and so I can usually, pick up on that just a little bit. There you go. So I use my leg to push them into position, but when you got big logs, you can't do that, and you could break your leg. So I've had a few people get on to me for that. If I cut all these 1.5 inches, then whatever I'm not giving him for shelf boards, I can make 2x4s out of, because I'm going to be building another building before too long.
You're building another building
to store equipment in. I'm not sure, up here somewhere. I don't know if I'm going to build it up in that clearing or build it in this area here somewhere. Yeah, we got 10-foot 3-inch, so we'll have 10-foot 2x4s.
I think if you could build it in this area, like even if you built it back in there, that way you have it back here at a little, but
close, right? So you don't have to run back and forth.
But it also doesn't take that spot for if it's a camp spot or anything like that. Like, I just figured that's fairly flat there.
That's not a terrible spot, and there's no big trees that I'd be sacrificing to do it. All right, well, this has turned out to be a pretty fun evening. Cameron happened to be home today, and so he's got to run the mill for the first time. And I'm excited about these boards that we were able to make for Dylan. Look at that. Yeah, so if he wants to sand those down and varnish them or whatever, that's what they would look like. That turned out even better than I thought. I picked out the one best board here, and I'm going to set it aside for him. I'm going to take it down and cut it into the lengths he wants, and then probably set some weight on it for the weekend to make sure it don't bow, and then he can dry it however he wants. Yeah, so all these we'll make 10-foot 2x4s out of, and I'll have them for building materials. I've got 2x4s under that metal there, drying, so I can put these with it. You want to try to lock that one in the middle. So you push the bottom, just keep it down like the bottom inch. We're going to go 3.5 inches up, so you're not going to hit it or nothing, but just push this end in, open that all the way up, push this end in like that, and then clamp her.
I see.
Yeah.
Might be a little
Same
high.
thing on the far end. No, you'll be fine. We're 7 7/8, which would get, so I need to go 3 7/16, right? We'll put her right there and get what we get. I must have miscalculated. I must have miscalculated. I do that.
You need to add 7/16 to your half.
Yes.
Yes.
I think, but
3.5
I ended up with
plus 7/16.
this is like 4 1/4. So I think what I'm going to do is cut about 3/4 off of the bottom ones that are still clamped in there, and I'll get some stickers out of it.
You said you're cutting how much off the next one?
Be about 3/4. I'll measure to be sure.
You're really just gonna move it down, what?
Yeah, just another inch or 3/4 of an inch or whatever. Yeah, this is why I don't take orders for lumber yet.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what I'm doing. I just haven't quite got it all the bugs worked out yet. That'll do it.
I'll let off slow and it's still back. Got gas in it?
Huh?
Got gas in it?
It's probably low.
Might be why it's backfiring.
Yeah.
Lean pops.
I meant to bring some up.
Ow.
Pretty sweet saw, isn't it?
Momentary
Yeah.
switch too.
Yeah, it's nice. Well, all right, guys. I had a good time up here tonight. What about you?
It's pretty fun.
What'd you think of running a mill the first time?
It's interesting. Like, I don't know. There's more motor and stuff there than I guess I kind of thought, and like you can kind of really get after it and stuff,
Yeah.
and it doesn't really bog too easy.
You hadn't even been up here when I was running it before, had you?
I might have seen like one cut or something, but
Yeah.
not really.
Yeah. It's kind of addicting. Yeah. Hopefully you get to do some more of it. Maybe you can make your pergola.
Yeah. Need to make a big pergola.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video, getting to see me mill and getting to see Cameron mill. That's pretty exciting. Till next time, get outside and enjoy God's creation. It's beautiful out here. Y'all have a good day.